In this video, we're going to talk about the top 3 mistakes that we see sellers make as we're rolling into the spring market.
On a day's work.
The first mistake that we see sellers make pretty frequently is just not getting their timeline ready. And I'm not sitting here in a glass house throwing stones, because I'm the same way. I think something's going to take a day and it takes a week. I think it's going to take a week and it takes a month. And that's just naturally how the world works. It just takes us all longer to do things than we originally think it's going to be. Having that timeline in place is really important so that when you have a listing date that you're trying to hit, that you've had these conversations early. It's not uncommon when we meet with a seller that they're somewhere between 30 and 60 days out from really being ready to list. And when you list, you want to have a really good representation of your property, and you want it to look as good as it can possibly look coming right out of the gate. And we're hitting the weather now where it's starting to warm up, the grass is starting to green up. If you've got a property that has some character to it, right now is my personal favorite time to go and start gathering assets, because you can see the contour of the ground. You're not just shooting treetops, and you can get that awakening of the property and make it look timely and in a really good light. And we've even had people that are getting ready to list in the spring. We've started those conversations in the fall, and we'll go out and start gathering fall assets. So then we're ready. So you're not coming out of the brown and the grays and just everything looks wet and crummy. But we have those conversations early so that when we put it on in the spring, it's going to have a really good look to it. So we can start gathering those marketing assets early to hit a specific timeline. The second mistake is really a deep dive into that first one. And if you're watching this video, there's a chance that you want to sell your property and you want to sell it as fast as you possibly can for top dollar. And I think people don't realize the amount of work and preparation that takes. And this next step is super important and critical for your property to look the best as it enters the market. Most properties need some sort of TLC. That's not uncommon. Does your basement have a bunch of junk down there, or as I like to call them, treasures? If it does, go get some totes. Start organizing and consolidating that stuff. Pick a room, pick a spot where that is. Better yet, go get a storage unit. Get it out of the house. Make it look as big and as presentable as possible. Does it need interior, exterior paint? Do you need to update some light fixtures? How are the gutters look when you pull up? Are they hanging off? Well, secure them. Go and start doing that honey-do list. We're at a time now where the weather's starting to get warm. Go in and pressure wash everything. Make everything look sparkly clean. It's really easy to go and say, well, I'm just going to go rake leaves and I'm going to mow. But can you get through the entirety of the property? Are there trails, or have you kind of scaled back on taking care of those trails? If so, let's get a land clear out there. Make that so nice that anyone in any condition can go in and walk that. We're not talking about huge renovations of tens of thousands of dollars. We're talking about simple things that will make a huge impact, that will help you attract serious buyers in the market. And we just had some clients that went through this process, and when we met with them, the house was full of stuff. The exterior had signs of wear from just years of not being painted, and the property was awesome. But the problem was that you just couldn't get through the property. So when we sat down and came up with a plan and a timeline, we suggested that that they clean out everything in the house and just have a blank slate so people weren't looking through the junk. We recommended that they get some bids for painting the exterior, which ended up not being as bad as any of us thought, and we cleared trails through the land. And because we did that, it allowed them to have multiple offers on a quick timeline and ultimately follow up on that goal of getting as much money for their asset as they possibly could. Now, if we can fix those first 2 mistakes, here's where a lot of people go wrong. And there's a myth out there that I'm going to price it up here, and over time, I'm going to bring it down. And that's going to keep some leverage and negotiation room. And that's just simply not the case. There was a time where that happened. It was called 2020 to 2022, and this COVID craze where there was a virus and there were people coming out from major metro areas. The interest rate was super low. And it was like Drew Carey's show, Whose Line Is It Anyways? The points didn't matter. The comps didn't matter. And when I say comps, I mean comparable sales. And it's not so-and-so over here thinks that their property is worth this and it was up and it didn't sell. I'm talking about sales data that has been on the market, that has closed, and that it's concrete. And even though we're not dealing with apples to apples all the time, and these properties are hard to value, there is no doubt. Is there a house? Is there, what kind of acreage is it? What kind of outbuildings do they have? Are they old barns or are they a new outbuilding? It gets complicated. It's a big puzzle. So when you're putting this puzzle together, there is still going to be a range that's going to come forward. And if your thought is, hey, I'm going to price 20% over market, well, let me just tell you what's going to happen. In 6 months, after limited showings and limited activity, you're going to come down another 10%. And then another couple months after that, now you're going to come down to where we probably should have been out of the gate with creating competition. You're within that range. You make sense to the market. But now 6 to 9 months in, you're stale on the market. What buyers are saying is, hey, what's wrong with this? It's been up forever, because they're conditioned now, because of how fast the market works, that properties are selling days, weeks, months, not 6 to 9 months. Now, every property has a buyer, but are you in that right price range when that buyer is looking? So the thought of pricing it high and coming down, you think it's helping you, which in reality, it's a detriment to the process and extends that process. Ultimately, the data shows that you're going to take less money overall than if you were just within that range out of the gate. So if you're a serious seller looking to move your property this year, these are the top 3 mistakes that we need to fix here going into 2026. If you took any value from this video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you're looking in Northern Illinois to sell and you'd like to work with our team, we've got the processes in place. We have the people that can help you with some of these items. Our information is going to be in the description. And if you want to see any of our current listings and how we market those listings, head over to our website at whitetailproperties.com. I'll see you in the next video.